we're back. We're back. Okay, so took a bit of a break, figuring out all the things, doing all the things. I don't know. I have 2 young children, and the ebbs and flows of trying to work part-time and just manage 2 very young children, and my husband works full-time, of course. It's just like it's a lot. We have no family and no support near us, so it's just a constant push-pull, you know? So I had to take a bit of a break and figure out where I was headed and what I wanted to do and all the things. So the updates really quickly are that I started a new Instagram. It's called obsessed_by Steph. It should be tagged at this point in my bio, but I was having trouble. Anyways, I'll figure that out. I got some new decks. We have some cards here. Last I was doing in the summer some kind of like just intuitive messaging tied to astrology. I've been working on astrology readings behind the scenes. I've still kept doing that, even though I haven't been like promoting myself and my content on social media. I have a bit of a cold, as you guys can tell, another side effect of having young children. So, but it's okay. Where energy levels are really high. It's just this like situation that won't kind of diffuse, you know, and it's been weeks ongoing. So we're in Sag season. Mars, the ruling planet of Aries and Scorpio, it's a sub-ruler to Scorpio, is about to go retrograde. The last time this happened was in 2022, the fall of 2022. It's kind of a rare retrograde, not kind of, it is. It impacts Aries and Scorpio people a little bit more. So your energy, your stamina, your drive, your motivation might feel a little bit less than. There's a lot of other things that also impacts the way we drive our cars, just like our physical vitality and our go forth energy. So that's coming up for us. It is going retrograde in the zodiac sign of Leo. So Leos will be impacted in this round. We're currently in Mercury retrograde. Mercury retrograde happens about 3 times a year, and it started off in Sag. If I'm not mistaken, it's still going backwards through Sag, or apparent backwards motion is what a retrograde actually is. It just means communication technology and all of those things. Things related to cars, especially because we've got Mercury and Mars happening at the same time in retrograde. Your cars and your technology and your appliances might be giving you a hard time. Don't ignore those calls to action, even if Mars has us a little unmotivated to take care of all the things. Plus it's December. It's officially December. The 12th month, the 11th hour of 2024 is here. How are you guys feeling? How's your year been? How has your year been? The astrology of this year really lended us to see options change, a lot of discomfort. I wouldn't say this was the easiest year. Those of us who sought out change in our lives did so at the cost of a sacrifice and a big decision. And those of us who are still sitting waiting for a change to happen, we've been mulling things over and driving ourselves crazy. And we're trying to go into 2025 with the hopes that the universe, God, whatever, Jesus take the wheel, something's gonna help us, because the struggle, it's there. It's on a silver platter. So what I'm going to be doing now is going actually back to tarot. So last quarter I wrapped up, I closed my books and astrology readings in November, and how that works is you can book with me via Calendly, again linked in my bio. I open them up quarterly for a few months at a time, and then I close them. And what I'm going to be doing for the first quarter of 2025, ebbing and flowing with the changes of our times, is I'm actually going to be going into tarot again. So I'm bringing that back. I haven't brought back tarot. I haven't had tarot readings in the last 18 months. Since my daughter was born, I stopped doing tarot. So she's 20 months. So that hasn't been, that's been kind of on the back burner. But this fall, I did a few readings for some friends and acquaintances. I've been called to new decks. I've been following the signs and just the cues and the prompts. And I'm feeling really excited about this. I want to take a little bit of a break from doing astrology readings too, because right now I don't feel like I can actually give my attention to both wholeheartedly. So stay tuned right over here on YouTube. I'm going to be adding more shorts. I'm going to be adding more videos. This is going to be sort of my space for all of this esoteric, weird kind of fun stuff, where we're just looking for the intuitive nudges that maybe we can't see because we have blind spots. I would love to support you and help you and just get you kind of in alignment. You'll notice if you're new here that my approach is very friendly and very supportive and very, 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 very positive. You're not going to leave anything in my space or in a reading feeling defeated. You're going to feel like the glass is half full and like you can handle whatever's coming your way. So I'm a Sag rising, a Sagittarius rising. Jupiter is my ruling planet. I'm a Scorpio sun. I just had my 42nd trip around the sun. And it says 40s are no joke, eh? So I'm just going to shuffle some cards here. I'm going to work with a few decks. We've got some oracles. I'm bringing back Thoth. I haven't worked with the Thoth Tarot in a minute. I'm feeling really, really good about this deck. This was the first, honestly, this was one of the first decks that I got when I first started reading tarot in 2017. 2017 was like my first tarot deck that I got. So we have the Empress reversed. So I'm gonna lay out the cards. I'm going to just do an intuitive read and see what comes up for what you're going through right now. We've got the Knight of Discs in the Thoth deck. Let's pull a couple more and then we'll grab some other ones. Super excited about this. Let's see, what messages do people need to hear right now? What are we dealing with? 10. We've got the 10 of Swords there. Yeah. So I think we're all kind of feeling a little bit of the same, though, I gotta say. It's not easy. You're not alone. You are not alone. The Tower is reversed. There's a change coming that we're not wanting to face. Oh, okay, here we go. Fifth card for Thoth Tarot. So we have the Five of Discs reversed, and then I'm gonna pull from this deck. This beautiful gold deck. So what messages do we have here that need to be communicated? Boom. We have the Four of Swords reversed. We've got the Nine of Pentacles reversed. Over the Knight of Discs. We've got the Hermit reversed over the Ten of Swords. Yeah. Hierophant reversed over the Tarot, and a jump card. Jump card is High Priestess reversed. So we have a lot of reversals, all reversed, coming from this tarot deck. This is a beautiful tarot deck. Look at that. And it's gold foiled on the edges. And this deck is the Night Weight deck. It's this one. It's gorgeous. I love this deck. There we go. Okay, and let's get a little bit of an oracle read on this. Another gorgeous deck. Feeling very in the energy of Wicked. I just saw Wicked. It was so good. Is this emerald green oracle deck. It is foiled in gold on the side as well. This one is called Human Spirit Oracle. Sort of a pet peeve of mine when there's a beautiful deck and a reader isn't sharing what that beautiful deck is. So for those of you who read, whoa. Okay, here we go. Head over heels and homebody. I love this. Okay, so we are going to take those two for sure. As the visuals on this deck are so beautiful. We have Any Way the Wind Blows. Look at that. Isn't that gorgeous? Coming over the Hermit in this case. Jump card there. Butterfly Effect is the last card. And this one is Forever Young. Gorgeous. Falling over the Hermit. The Hierophant, sorry. And you know what? I am going to pull a signifier. Let's grab it from here. I'm going to pull two. Empress. The Empress is here twice. She's here twice, and she's reversed both times, actually. Art card from Thoth Tarot, sorry. This card, there we go. This is the visual on it. Look at that. Yin and yang there, okay? It takes two. Got Wands and Cups in that one. We've got a lot going on. So, let's get a read on what is going on for you guys right now. So this is speaking to someone who's actually going through I have to say, it's hard not to speak to all of you, but for the sake of this reading, because we need to tune in and have someone kind of feel like this reading is directed at them or claimed, or that they could claim it as their own and just feel really seen, I'm going to try. But as someone who also practices astrology, I can tell you that this read does touch on the lives of many right now, because we're just all being asked so much and we're being tested in so many ways. So it's really important to just, as much as is possible and within your capacity, to look at where you're being tested, drained, depleted, and defeated, and also where you're going to give your attention. Right now, the Empress being reversed with the Knight, what I'm seeing is that there's this desire, it's a Knight of Discs too, so this desire to commit to something, to go forward and like make something happen, but there's this tremendous amount of fear around it, and the fear is coming out in this way of like not knowing our worth, not feeling like we're enough, not feeling like we have enough. It could be material, kind of reward, material safety and security, but it could also just be this like not wanting, intentional not wanting to commit to that sort of thing. Our intuition with the Empress reversed here, like just that sense of connected to our truth and ourself and our feminine energy, is definitely feeling a little bit off in that regard. I would say we got the Four of Swords here, so it's just like just calling it a day, not totally defeated. We'll get back up again, but there's this something that is very dramatic and almost like obsessive quality to an element in our lives. It could be a relationship, and it could also be just this passion that we have for something that we're doing. I mean, there's a lot of pentacles here, so that means that it's very much nestled in the real world and in what is calling our material attention and our desire to build a thing or to name a thing in a compartmentalized, like structured kind of way. Our attention is being called to just really remove ourselves from situations instead of face the music. And that's, I mean, totally normal. I think when we're feeling this level of overwhelm and when we're feeling this sense of kind of like, I don't know which way to go, and where I would normally have the stamina and the endurance to kind of tackle this thing, I feel I just don't have it. But the mental drive is there. The physical isn't, I would say. It's almost like that. It's almost like our minds are in overdrive, but you, the person who is feeling directly impacted by this, you're feeling almost cut off by the capacity to move it forward, but it's staying with you in your mind, and it's giving you a really, really, I don't want to say like a hard time, but you can't let it go, you know? There's the prioritizing, the Hierophant here too, something that matters, that feels like it has a social consequence or relevance. The need for changes here though, there's like this, I mean, I have to laugh at the satire in this Forever Young card. I mean, look at her face. She just has this look like it's so smug. And this falls over the Tower reversed and over the Hierophant. So what I'm seeing for this is that there's this commitment to something that is in a relationship that you receive social standing for. And that there is, feels like it could be like it's there's a lock and a key, you know, like this is something that moving away from that and taking the leap of faith is not, you don't have the energy or the bandwidth, but the like the mental anguish around the fact that that feels more and more, you feel more and more pressured to move in that direction is definitely here. It's definitely on the table, if you will. There's something tied to the way we felt maybe when we were younger, the way someone made us feel when we were younger, and this experience that you're going through right now is kind of juggling a little bit of that nerve, if you will. But practically speaking, everything in your life right now is telling you that like it doesn't make sense going forward with that action. There's no action here. There's a lot of pause. There's a lot of pause, but there's the Ten of Swords, which is like so mentally active, but also so defeated at the same time. It's the ending, but also the beginning, depending on how you look at that. In the Thoth deck, we have the Worry card here through the Five of Discs. So we have this sentiment like if we go in the direction that we're feeling called and the thing that's weighing on our minds, the thing that's weighing on your heart and your mind, it's your heart. I should say that too, though there's not really many cups here except for in the Trumps card from the Thoth deck, the Art card there, and the Empress. We could say that the Empress is very heart centered card. But she's reversed. So there's this fight or flight is happening in this dynamic. There's definitely fight or flight activated here. Fight or flight is a sense where, like, sometimes depending on the way we deal with fight or flight, we can abandon ourselves, but we can also just stay fixated and just drive ourselves sort of crazy, but not be able to take action. I'm not seeing much action in this, but I'm seeing the mental action. So there's a lot of activity. The wheels are turning and they're turning and they're turning and they're turning, but are they propelling us forward physically? Absolutely not in this time. Going back to the Mars retrograde thing, I will say that is like not something that's really going to be able to happen until the new year, as Mars will stay with us in this retrograde motion for a long enough time that sitting and festering is going to be a season. It's a season. We're growing through something. There's growth happening through this experience, but there's resistance to the growth. And the other story of these cards is telling us that we need to grow and we need to evolve. There needs to be a change, and it's got to be dramatic, and we have to push through the fight or flight. But what we're choosing to do right now is remain behind the scenes, remain calm, quiet, and be feeling sort of like alone in this journey and in the pursuit of what is plaguing our minds. There's a lot of sentiment of feeling stuck right now. We feel very stuck. We're not really capable to give more than the bare minimum. And the thing that is, I would say, pushing your buttons and giving you a hard time right now is really this. It's bringing up something that maybe has been dormant for a while, something that's felt like it wasn't there for a while. Practically, there's no logic or reason for it. It's reminding you probably of a younger version of yourself, of something that you were prior, and maybe that's an indication of something that you're missing in your life right now. And there's also this really big prompt to face your fears around it, and maybe just give it a little bit of the time of day just to shed the load a little bit. We could use a little more communication in this reading. There's not a lot of communication and there's not a lot of action. There's a lot of just stillness and just feeling defeated, but also feeling stuck, which those two things kind of go hand in hand, don't they? So let's get maybe just, I'll do like one more just for a little bit of a clarification on the situation now that we got this, and we can see what comes up for that. So we'll do couple things here. Let's see. Okay, so let us get a sip of our coffee. And let's pull a little bit of a clarification for those of you who resonated with that. What is the move? What is the action? What do we need to do? What else do we need to know about this situation? We have the Queen of Wands reversed. The Three of Wands upright. Temperance. We have from the top deck here the Nine of Wands upright, falling over the Queen of Wands. The Sun over the Three, and the Prince of Wands. Oof, we got a lot of action in this read. Over Temperance. Temperance is serving to really what is the word I'm looking for? Not put out, but sort of temper all this fire. It's an oracle card. Every day is a new opportunity to be born. Cracked wide open through that shell. And make your own choices, the identity card. And this is from Dark Magic Oracle. So, look at these two. Cards 17 and 6. Okay, love. So this is what we're dealing with here. We have one reversal in this entire read. So everything that we're claiming right now and really kind of putting together from the story that I just shared and narrated with you guys, what I'm seeing here is this, we're seeing this sense of like someone who's maybe their confidence is a little bit, it's not super present. I don't think you have the vitality and the strength in your typical luster for the thing. Maybe your sense of like passion and devotion towards something isn't what it would normally be for this. I think what we're seeing in the overall read is that there's a new opportunity coming your way, and the new opportunity is probably going to be a new way to look at things, more than anything else. But in the meantime, the suggested action is really to continue with this sort of like balancing out of emotion. I would suggest that, actually I lied, I told a white lie. I missed that the Prince of Wands and the Queen of Wands are reversed. So for me, that feels like those are two major like archetype energy in this. So the Prince is a little more of her ego in the moment, and the Queen is a little more of like a mature kind of crone energy. So they're both feeling a little bit like where we've come from and where we've arrived, but not where we're going. Because the Queen, like she's embodied and she's now, I would say, those two situations are kind of like at an intersection, a crossroads right now. And I think in that regard, actually, that I just noticed that something is opening up and something is coming through for us. It's actually bringing us a lot of joy because we have the Sun card over the Three of Wands. So this is super positive. Together, this feels like the journey is just beginning and the darkness is behind you. Give it some time. If you can be patient enough, because with all the wands here, I don't know that patience is really a virtue. I do also, in the previous read, we saw that there was just a lot of anguish and anxiety, I think, over the feeling of like having to sit with this thing that's just plaguing your mind and your heart. Temperance is a beautiful card here. It's one of the only cards that's showing us emotion, like a feeling, and the desire to balance out that feeling and just kind of assimilate it into our day-to-day. But the struggle is there, you know? I think it'll come though. I think it'll be okay. I do think this is going to be okay, but I think this is showing you maybe something that hasn't been kind of cracked open for a while, and maybe there's an opportunity to heal and an opportunity to kind of evolve and grow through this. I love identity. I think this is so important because for me, and I have chills right now, this is just a sense of like, who are you being through these trying times, and who are you looking to be? Like, who's the person in the mirror? Like, who do you really want to evolve into? Who do you want to identify as? And what is lacking from that goal right now in where you are? There was a lot of socially mandated, structured pillars in the last draw. And so what I'm seeing is this prompt to really unravel and look at what this discomfort is showing you for what you're capable of having in your life in terms of joy and happiness and abundance. The Temperance card in this read also is like, you're kind of neither here nor there. There's like not this sense of joy, and there's not this sense of like comfort with having to be so still, but you feel like that's the only option. It's like a rock in a hard place, or your back's against the wall, so you're removing yourself because that's the kind of structurally encouraged, so socially encouraged, easier solution is to have inaction. The inaction is gonna have to, something's gonna have to be done with that eventually. So that's what I've got for you guys today. As an opening read for a really long time, the imagery on this is so beautiful. This is beautiful. I mean, this is the invitation to allow yourself to be fertile, allow yourself to be just so young and new at something. This feeling is new. This feeling is scary and overwhelming. Fight or flight is there, as we saw before. Allow yourself to explore that. Allow yourself to know that it's okay to not have the answers. It doesn't mean you have to hide from it. Like, we can be reborn, and we can be born multiple times in life. And the things that kind of crack us open, like the visual on this is so stunning, because I'm sure breaking out of that shell and that kind of mold, that container that held you isn't easy. There's sharp edges here, you know, it's like you got to kind of push through it. But there's such an abundance and such an opportunity at, like, think of the Fool card. It's like there's something really, really special about being on the edge of like an opportunity. It's like, it's here, you know. What are you scared of? If you say yes, or if you kind of, oh, give me a second, I'm just getting a phone call. If you say yes, or if you kind of reach for it, I don't think it'll bite back. I think it'll just test your level of comfort with a thing. And sometimes that's exactly what we need. So you let me know if this resonates. And if you have any questions, one of the readings I could do for you guys on here is draw for your questions for sure. So if you feel called, if you see this and you feel called for that, don't be shy, don't be a stranger. Come on over and join us. I would love to read for you and support you in any way that I can. So thank you so much. I wish you a beautiful day, and I'll see you in the next one.